So, welcome from Sherry Forsyth. I'm a peak performance coach living in South Africa. And today I'm going to be speaking about living in our strengths. Before I jump into that, though, I, as always, would love to welcome you, whether you are watching this live or whether you're watching the rebroadcast. And I would encourage you in the comment box below just to put the country that you are listening from. It helps just get a sense of the community and where we're going with this. So thank you for doing that. I thank you also for giving up your time to listen to this video, and I hope that it'll be helpful to you. So first of all, do you even know what your strengths are? And many people don't, because they don't like to do any kind of introspection, or because they never really have gone there. So if you don't know what your strengths are, don't feel alone. Many people don't. And there are lots of tests that you can take to help you and guide you in the journey to find out what your strengths are. Some that are really good, just off the top of my head. There's a movement called 6 Seconds. They've got lots of tests on your strengths and weaknesses. The Strength Finder. If you go onto the Forbes website, they've got a strength test there. So if you are in doubt, go online and have a look and see what you can find. Maybe take a few different tests and see if the same strengths are revealed in each test. Always remembering, though, that these tests they're just a guideline for you. They're not actually hugely cast in stone. So, but use those tests to see if what they're saying is valid. So the first step in this process is to know what your strengths are. And I would love to ask you in the comment box just to write a yes or a no. Yes, I do know what my strengths are, or no, I have no clue. Because then we know where we have to start from. So let's assume that we have found out what our strengths are. And traditionally what used to happen is there would be a questionnaire and you had to fill out your strengths and your weaknesses. And then where would people generally concentrate? They would concentrate on the weaknesses. So let us work really hard on our weaknesses to bring them up, to improve them, so that then you'll be a really good person. And that was a thinking for many years. And there's people who still think that that's the way to go. Well, what do you think? So I want you to question that. I want you to start living in your strengths. So you can do a list of your strengths and your weaknesses so that you become aware of what they are. But then what you're going to do is you're going to concentrate on your strengths, not on your weaknesses. Imagine if we were living our lives where most of the day we were living in our strengths. In other words, doing things that we loved to do. We were living and working and loving in our passion. We were spending most of our time doing something we're really good at. Or would we choose to be in our weaknesses, where we are living and loving and working in areas where we don't have the confidence, we're not really very good at them, we're going to try so hard, but we probably never will be good at them. And so generally, how happy and how fulfilled and what meaning will we get in our lives if we are concentrating on our weaknesses rather than our strengths? Okay, so a South African and international swimmer gone a few years ago, Penny Haynes, she was doing a talk and she was talking about living in your strengths. And she said, so picture the situation of Penny Haynes at junior school, primary school, and obviously she already was a very good swimmer. But imagine if the policy of the school was such that you had to do other sports, many other sports as well. So Penny, instead of concentrating in her strength and on her swimming, she was made to play hockey, which she hated, which she wasn't good at. And no matter how hard she practiced, she knew that she would never be good at that. But the ruling at the school was that you had to be well-rounded. Okay, so well-rounded means you've got to work in your weaknesses as well. So Penny would have gone religiously to her practices. She would have tried very hard in hockey. In the meantime, she wasn't working at what she really was good at, which was the swimming. So how would that have been for her? So instead of being in her strength, doing her swimming where she's good, where her passion lies, where she has a huge aptitude, where things come naturally, where she just loves it. No, she must now go and spend time trying to improve in a sport where she's got no interest, no desire, no passion, no love. And just that in itself would mean that she wasn't going to be putting a lot of effort in. So why on earth do we do that to ourselves? If we aim to live as much of our lives as we can in our strengths, then we're likely to, because it is our passion and because we love it so much, we're likely to work a lot harder. And the harder we work at it, the better we're going to be. And the better we are, the more successful we're going to be. And so it's this beautiful upward spiral of well-being, of feeling you're making a difference, of success. So why on earth would we choose otherwise? So are you working and living in your strength? Are you passionate and fulfilled in what you are spending most of your life doing? Because if you're not, then maybe you need to start thinking about a few things. Firstly, do you even know what your strengths are? If not, that's the starting place. Okay, find out what your strengths are. We don't want to be trapped in living in our weaknesses where we feel like such a failure. Let's try and get into that upward spiral of feeling successful and happy and loving what we're doing. So once you have found out what your strengths are, I'm going to challenge you to find out what you need to do to make sure that you are living in your strengths. And maybe start with just one area of your life so that you start just in that tiny area living to your strengths. Imagine how wonderful that would be. And so if you do try and do this and are successful, I would love to hear about how different you are feeling about your life or in that particular area. Also, if you would like to have if you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me on Sherry Forsyth, CHERRI FORSYTH @gmail.com. And I would love to hear from you. And once again, thank you so much for your time. And I hope that this video has made a difference in your life.